Okay, ladies, let's get off. We'll get started with this now. As I've quickly gone over, on your right hand side, you've got your control panel, which has a chat box. In that chat box is your chance to interact with me in this webinar. Okay, so any questions you got, anything I asked throughout this webinar, anything you want to know, anything you're not sure of, just write it in there and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I won't always answer the questions immediately because I'll kind of try and finish off my slides and try not get sidetracked. So I normally get sidetracked and I'm knackered. I'm screwed, okay? So, and it'll probably go over time. So I don't really want that to happen. I respect it. I'm grateful that you came on tonight, being a Sunday night. It's normally family time, things like that. So thanks for coming along and I'll try and make it worth your while, okay? Hopefully it will be. And yeah, let's get going. I'll get the slides up. 2 secs. Okay, right. Okay, that box there. So he's all good to go. If everyone just write in the box, good to go, we'll get started. I don't want anyone missing anything, so just quickly write in the box if you're all ready to get going. I'm good to go. Perfect. Cool, just want to make sure you've all got kind of got the layout. Perfect. And be sure to use this box. Remember, just anything, literally anything you can think of, just brain dump it in that box. Anything that comes in your head, write it in there. Because I want to cover as much as I possibly can in this webinar, okay? Right, let's get going. So the introduction, like basically how is this going to work? We've got to have an intro, which is now. So some rules for the webinar. All I'm going to really say to you for rules wise is try not to get easily distracted. If you've got TV on, if you've got Facebook on your phone, things like that, and our tab on your laptop and your tablet, try not to be distracted with it. I've been in webinars before. I know how easy it is when you get notifications through things like that to get sidetracked. So all I'd ask is not to get sidetracked. Listen to everything. Be open-minded. You probably won't agree with everything. That's cool because I don't expect everyone to agree with everything. That wouldn't be normal. And yeah, just kind of try and implement as much as you can. As much of what I say in this webinar, try and implement as much as you can. Enjoy it. Be interactive. So chat. Anything, say hello, chat. Anything I said before, anything you can think of, anything that's boring you, anything especially I've not covered that you're not sure of, write in the chat box. And yeah, I'll try and help. I'll try and help as best I can. What I promised to give you in this webinar, so to speak, is like I want to give you everything. I said in the status before on the page, I want to give as much kind of value, as much kind of content as I possibly can. I took a decent bit of time over the slides the other day, putting them together. And yeah, basically just want to give you as much as I can for like 58 minutes of this webinar. For a couple minutes, I'll maybe go over quickly at the end how you can get in touch with me, things like that, how you can work with me if you want to. But there's nothing for sale in this webinar, really, to be honest with you. There's nothing I've especially got out there just now. So all of this is really just now is content only. Information for you to take in, information for you to implement, okay? That's all I want. No strings attached. And again, at the end, like I said before, there's a 25 quid gift card for one. I'll pick one person at random that's been in this till the end. Just picked at random. I'll probably do that tomorrow and I'll put it in the page. Just a thank you for coming along. Because I get how busy you can be on a Sunday night. So yeah, that's what I want to give you. Who am I? Well, I'm Dan. You're on this webinar because you are on my email list. You get my emails every day, or you are on the Facebook page, or both. Probably both. So I'm guessing most of you can have an idea of what I'm about. Basically, I'm a body transformation coach / mindset coach kind of type thing. Moving away from this sort of kind of personal training stuff. I'm a personal trainer technically still, but without sounding big-headed, I think I offer more than that now. And I've kind of learned from my past experience as a personal trainer, the good stuff, the bad stuff, and I've kind of rounded it up. But basically, a year ago, I've kind of started rounding it up to one big package that will get us better results. Get us better results for even like for not free clients, but like people like you and me, my list that aren't clients, so to speak. People on the Facebook page aren't clients, so to speak. are still getting results to this information and this way of doing it. And yeah, I basically help ladies, especially mums, get results. And yeah, I do kind of still work with guys, but 9 times out of 10, my clients are ladies. Why? Because ladies listen, ladies want more help, ladies are more inclined to use the help, and guys won't listen as much. And from my experience, that's why I started doing that. So through this webinar, also you'll kind of see ladies of help, examples of ladies of help, the story behind it, not always the good stuff. Because sometimes when you see before and after pictures, all you can hear about is weight loss and kind of yada yada yada. You know, like everything's not a positive. That's what I'm trying to say. When somebody goes through a kind of transformation, there's always a bad part. There's always a pain to that journey, so to speak. So I'll kind of go over what kind of clients of mine have been through, and from a bad point, from good points of view as well. And yeah, I'll give you them their story. They've given me permission to do that. They're happy for it to share because it will give you motivation. It'll give you inspiration moving forward to get results yourself. Because you're on this call for a reason. You're on this webinar for a reason. You want to kind of change something. There's something you're not happy about. I kind of get that. You get that. So let's get going. Okay, this is kind of one example of a lady I've helped. That was a 3-month kind of transformation. 3 to 6 month transformation. I think the pictures were taken at the start and the end of 4 months. Okay, so that was Gia, one of my clients. This is Paul, and I, one of my clients. He was that was, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think that, giving you numbers, I think that was like 7 stone in 6 months. And he had diabetes when I started with him. At the end of it, he didn't have diabetes. That was the basics of it. At the start of it, he couldn't play with his kids. At the end of it, he could play with his kids. He went through about 4 or 5 new suits. He basically got a few new wardrobes. But at the start of it, his pain got so bad that he had to invest in himself. He had to invest in his own body, for his own family, and his own future. That's what it is. Stuff like this is an investment in your health. What the effort you put in every day to eating well, to exercising, to getting up early for exercise, to making meals the night before, preparing meals the night before, is an investment in you. You've got to be investment minded, because if you're like looking for opportunities all the time, opportunity seeking, going from one thing to another, losing weight, putting it back on, losing weight, putting back on, you're never really going to get anywhere. And you probably know what I mean by that, because you've probably done it before. You've probably done like shake diets, you've probably lost weight. It's easy to lose weight quickly. That's the thing, guys, girls even. It's easy to lose weight. The hard thing to do is lose it right in a lifestyle that suits you and something you can take on forward in your own time. And yeah, something you can do forever, because a diet indicates kind of short term. A lifestyle is you, for your life, for you, for your kids, for your husband, for your wife, whatever it is. Okay, so what these people basically did is they got to a point in their life, mentally, physically, where the pain got too much, and they took action on it. And that's what I want you to do. Okay, so there's always something deep down that's nagging. It's not always weight loss. It's not always toning. It's not always things that people want. People always say they want that because they think they should want that, if you know what I mean. You hear people saying, do this because you'll lose this. Well, it's not really that you want. What you really want is a feeling behind losing that. So what you really want to do is do it right and keep it off, because you don't always go back to square one, because it can be a vicious cycle. Dieting, weight loss, all this kind of stuff. There's a lot of shit out there in media, social media, papers, celebrities endorsing rubbish. Really, there's a lot of rubbish out there that should be avoided and can be avoided. And that's what I'm going to show you just now. Is my take on it, and basically how I go about doing it off. So like Gia here, Gia was well, I've not got my notes to hand, but to think off the top of my head, she started off at a size 16, and at the end there she was a size 12. She went from a point of basically she had postnatal depression, and at the start and the end of it, she didn't. Within a month of, well, I don't want to big myself up too much, but within a month she came off the medication. Exercise was now her outlet, and that's a good thing. Antibiotics here and there are needed, but if you've got mental issues related, if you've got stuff like postnatal depression, if you've got big like anxiety issues, stress levels are always sky high, then exercise is always a great outlet. You need to look after yourself, because nobody else will look after you. And we're going to yeah, we're going to get great depth because this was a massive transformation from body and mind. You know, from a body point of view, yeah, she lost a couple of dress sizes within 2 or 3 months. That's all well and good, but it's not really important in the grand scheme of things. What was important was that um, she got mentally, she was in control now. She was in control of her own body. She wasn't using food and drink as an outlet every single week, every single weekend. Now she was in control of it. She got what worked for her. She got what worked for her lifestyle, and now like last month she got married and she felt great, and that's priceless. You know, the numbers and the scales, the numbers and the dress sizes, all well and good, but it's the feelings deep down that you want. Being comfortable in your own skin, getting out of a rut that you're kind of feeling just now, feeling more comfortable in your clothes, enjoying shopping without not having to wear baggy clothes every day, that kind of type thing. Gia did that. Gia used to wear her husband's. Gia's 5'5" and her husband's 6'4", and she used to wear her husband's like hoodies and joggers and things like that to cover up, and that's what happens. I get it because I've worked with ladies like you before. I get it's the kind of stuff you go through. What I'm trying to say is that our people like you, yeah, our ladies like you are doing this. Ladies with kids, ladies that are working, ladies that are busy. All these stuff, that's kind of stuff's excuses. Stories you tell yourself, but we'll get more of that later. The kind of stuff we've been going over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, Gia and Paul, they've done really good. I'm just waiting for the slide to move on. Sometimes it delays a wee bit. Hello to anyone else that's kind of just joined. Thanks for joining. Yeah, there's Paul. Yeah, it said Paul got to a point where he hated his body. He had diabetes. At the end of it, he reversed diabetes. Huge. Okay. I always go back to this transformation. I've used it quite a lot in last year, but I think, and I know it's a guy, but the principles are the same. The pain got bad. He took action. He didn't diet. He ate sensibly. He ate 3 meals a day. He didn't give up drink. Really, he didn't give up alcohol altogether. Stuff like that. But he still got results. He knew what he had to do. He did it. He did like 3 or 4 sessions a week at 45 minutes, and that's what got the result. So what I'm going to give you also in this next few pilot is 3 kind of, it sounds a bit faddy, but game-changing secrets. But they are totally game-changing because your life's important, your mind's important. Sorry. If you're not comfortable in your own skin, if you're not mentally in tune every single day, it's huge, you know. And what I'm going to show you is how your own head is powerful and how it can get you results, and how can I just basically getting over the fear, as I said here, the stories that they're not true. So it's basically time for you to get over it. And once you get this, we'll get everything I say here. Things will change. Whether you do it or not is it's entirely up to you. I can't force you ladies on this to do this because they're not all clients of mine. Well, actually, one is are actually. And thanks for joining, Lucy. But not all of these will do this. I've done webinars like this before, and you'll be lucky if there's 30 people in a webinar if 5 people take away the information and do it. So make sure you be that 5 out of 30. You know that kind of 5% of the webinar. Be that 5%. Don't be the majority, because the majority, you know, what I'm going to say to you here in this webinar, it isn't all. Some of it you've heard before, and it's kind of going over kind of stuff you've heard before. But again, you just kind of know what you need to do to some respect. But the important stuff is accountability, and being told by someone else that's in the know, that's done it before with our people like you, which is me, getting results for ladies like you, mums, ladies that are busy. You know, yous are all in here because you fall into that category. Yous are all looking for a bit of help, and what I give you that in absolute honesty. I said here, you know, if you ask me something, I'm going to be honest with you. If you give me an excuse, I'll be brutally honest with you. I'll give you my take on it. I might not know you fully. I might be wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I can kind of go over how you can get over that kind of hurdle, that kind of excuses hurdle. And then lastly, the tools. I put 3 game-changing secrets, but there's obviously 4 there. But the tools is the kind of stuff you probably know already. The stuff you maybe just need a little bit more help on. You know, the food, the exercise, the nutrition, stuff like that, the supplementation protocols that put in place. That kind of stuff is important, but the mental stuff, the accountability side of things, making sure you do it, mentally being prepared before you do anything, before you undertake any sort of program, any sort of transformation, any sort of, you know, regime in your own time. It's so important in your own head. You get the mental side of it, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to start off with the kind of tools, okay? So the value side of things, and what you probably came on here for was to maybe get some tips, some hacks on like eating better, on like exercise. So I'm going to go over this stuff first, then I'm going to go and basically show you why it's maybe not as important as you think it is. Because as I said before, most of you ladies on here know that you eat too much rubbish, know that you don't exercise enough, or both. You know, one or the other or both. The you know, the reality probably is that you get fallen in one category. You're on here because you want help. You know you need to take action on something, a problem. You know, where it's losing weight, where it's toning up, where it's feel more confident, where it's all mental, where it's all kind of physical. You kind of want to feel better in your own clothes, that kind of type of stuff. It all comes down to one thing: you either eat too much rubbish, you know, drink too much wine, eat too much chocolate, eat too much crisps, or you don't exercise enough. You're not prepared to put the work in. And you know, the food side of things. What I give you basics, okay? I call it just jerf. So what I mean by that is that just eat real food, and it sounds simple. It sounds simple, but sorry, I'm just dealing with someone's question here. Someone says it's muted. Somebody can hear me though, yeah, but I think it's just one lady's on here has got it muted. So if you can't hear me at all, if you can't see me, don't unmute yourself. So yeah, going back to the food side of things, just eat real food. Cut out processed food. Cut out stuff like wheat. Cut out rubbish. Cut, you know, foods as well. Foods that are it's all kind of big kind of game. You know, marketing companies, food companies, the biggest companies in the world put the most money into advertising. Their advertising is false. It's not always the truth. I mean, you don't see big adverts, flashy adverts in between your TV shows with like advertising veg. You see it advertising like Coke, things like that, Diet Coke, diet drinks, no added sugar stuff, low fat stuff. This stuff is rubbish, okay? Anything that's got diet, anything that's got low added sugar, anything gimmicky like that, there's got to be a trade off somewhere. And, you know, going by their theory, you could eat a bag of Haribo's and it wouldn't put any fat on because a bag of Haribo's endorses no fat. And that's what it is. Diet Coke's got like, I don't know, 10 calories. So you could drink as much Diet Coke as you want a day and feel good. Wrong, because it's full of rubbish. It's full of like artificial stuff, artificial sweeteners, artificial preservatives in food are bad because they're made to last longer in shelves, so the companies make more money. They're not interested in you. Okay, Special K diets, things like that. I mean, Special K. If you eat a bowl of Special K in the morning, eat a bowl of Special K at lunch, yeah, you'd lose weight, but it wouldn't be good for you. Okay, calories are calories, so you can easily lose weight. You can deprive yourself, you can restrict yourself, you can do loads of exercise, and you'll create a deficit. That it'll be an unhealthy deficit. It's not done right because you've not got the right kind of balance. It's not the right kind of lifestyle sort of thing, so to speak. So for the food side of things, I put the post up on the Facebook page. If you've not seen the post, have a scroll back to last week, last Friday. I put a post up, a list of foods that I kind of get. I stick to myself, and I get my clients. You know, basics like meats, chicken, eggs, red meat, pork, fish, loads of fish, oily fish, greens, spinach, kale, broccoli, asparagus, carbohydrates. I mean, carbs get a bad name, but carbs aren't bad. If you don't eat carbs, you're screwed. You hear a lot of stuff like, oh, no carbs for marbs. Literally, like ladies like deprive themselves of carbs. They think they're going to put on loads of weight because they eat carbs, but carbs give yourself energy, and you need energy to live. So if you deprive yourself of that, the chances are you're going to get cravings for stuff that's bad, really bad, and it's going to get worse. So don't deprive yourself. Yes, there are some carbs that are better than others. I mean, I get my clients mostly to stop eating bread, stop eating pasta, and eating stuff more like basmati rice, sweet potato, new potatoes, quinoa, buckwheat, stuff like that. Carbs that are wheat free, and some of them have got a protein content in them as well. So from a carb point of view, that's what I stick to. And another thing with carbs is that you can kind of get in a cycle with, in the morning you have toast or cereal carbs, at lunchtime you have soup and a sandwich, bread, equal carbs, and at dinner at night, because you're so starving, you're ravenous, you come home, what most like 7/10 of the nation do is their plates are made up of carbs. 3/4 of plates are made up of carbs. Spaghetti, rice, pasta. You can overconsume carbs. I mean, I'm saying carbs aren't bad, but what the biggest problem with carbs is people eat too much of them. Okay, so stuff like pasta. What your carbs should really look like is about 1/4 of your plate. The rest of it should be made up with your meats, your veg, any seasoning in there that you've got. That's the base of your plate should be made up. The carbs should be basically supplement on top of that. Okay, so don't overconsume carbs because it's not needed. So I'm just going to go over it. It's wheat-free pasta, okay. I'll go back to you, Lauren. I'll come back to you at the end of the section. I'll come back to the food side of things. Any questions that I'll deal with, okay. So the basis of the food is eat real food. Don't eat anything processed. Don't eat anything that's preserved. Be wary of anything that's marketed diet, low fat, no added sugar, because the chances are it's rubbish, and the chances are it's got the most rubbish in it than the original product, like Diet Coke, Coke. If it came down to it, I'd probably drink a normal can of Coke. Yes, it's got more calories. Yes, it's got loads of sugar, but aspartame and things like that, it's like 1,000 times sweeter than sugar. That's fact. So cut that rubbish out. Loads of greens, protein in every meal. Try and add protein and treat breakfast like a normal meal as well. And our big problem people make is they see breakfast as a chore. You either wake up too late, you're too busy in the morning, you're stressed, your kids, you're overwhelmed, you're busy, you're tired. I get that. I just had a newborn baby like 2.5 weeks ago. I get the mornings are busy, they're stressful, but what I kind of do to kind of get on top of that is prepare like a smoothie the night before, prepare like something I'm going to quality microwave the night before, prepare something I know I'm going to have, so it cuts out time the next morning. Because I know your time's precious in the morning. I know you're getting stuff ready. You're going to work. You're getting kids sorted. I know your time's precious, so be prepared and make sure you eat breakfast. Don't skip breakfast. And if you do have breakfast, don't make it quick and easy. Don't have cereal. Don't have a cereal bar. Don't have toast in its own. Stuff like that. That is, again, it's food we're programmed into having. Like since we were born, it's like mentally we've kind of grown up with that. We think it's right. We think it's normal. We think it's healthy. Cereal bars are sugar. Toast is nothing. It's not good. What you've got to kind of look at breakfast as a meal, for one, and two, something that's going to get you through to lunchtime without absolutely being starving in between. Because what normally happens is you have breakfast and an hour later when you get into work, you're craving biscuits, tea, sugary tea, coffee to stay awake, things like that, and you don't need it. All you really need to do is have a proper breakfast in the day, start your day off as you mean to go on, and when you get to lunchtime, you're not starving. You probably don't even feel like eating at lunchtime. Most of my clients don't even feel like even having lunch because they're not that hungry. I still get them to have it because it's still important, but you don't want to be absolutely ravenous at lunch. You have your lunch, and another thing that happens at breakfast, if you skip breakfast, the chances are you get to make it up and you've got to start raiding your cupboards at night when the kids go to bed, when you're bored, when you're tired, when you're stressed. You know the feeling I mean when you're sitting watching TV at night, it's late, you feel like having a glass of wine, you feel like having a bag of crisps, you feel like having chocolate as a kind of outlet because you're so stressed, because you're so tired. You kind of feel like you need to have something to kind of make up for it, and you don't really need it. Okay? So again, any questions on food, fire them through, and I'll deal with them at the end. I think that's the basics of the food. And yeah, make sure you have a wee look at that Facebook post for any help, anything you're not sure of, anything you want to know, on specifics and like shopping lists. Some of those foods you can maybe help. And always remember that fat isn't always bad. Fat is sugars kind of stuff. What you really need to do is cut back on sugar and add more fats in. And adding more fats in sounds stupid, but fats mean like eggs, coconut oil, avocados, nuts, cashews, things like that. Healthy fats that your body needs to survive. Your body does not need sugar. The problem, why we put on fat, why we put on body fat, why we put on weight, is largely down to the fact we eat too much sugar, we eat too much calories. And I don't like going on about calories because I think people obsess about calorie counting too much, but the long and short of it is if you're eating too much calories, you get put on weight. So don't do it, okay? Right, next up. Sorry, these 30 slides are taking a wee bit of a while to load up. At least I can get a lot of drink in between. Come on. So yeah, fire any questions through. Have you got on food? Any questions you got on food just now? I'll give you my best shot at the end of this section and answer them. Exercise. Again, like food, like Jerf, just eat real food. Exercise, I go by KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what keep the KISS means, but I'm not calling you stupid. But what people can tend to do is overcomplicate things. people think, I've got to lose weight, I've got to go to the gym twice a day, I've got to I've got to eat get 800 calories a day, go to the gym twice. And you don't need to do that. Yes, you'll lose weight by doing that, but it won't be good long term. It won't be good for your health. What you get to kind of realise is that, well, the clients I get results for do no more than 4 45-minute sessions a week. And yeah, that's probably more. That's maybe more than you're doing already just now, but it's probably not more than you have to do. You think you have to do. People normally think when they start to exercise, I've got to start, cutting back. I've got to restrict myself. I've got to starve myself. Eat salad, eat diet foods, eat low-fat foods. Go running every night after work. Go run in the morning before work. Do sit-ups because sit-ups burn body fat. Well, they don't, because if it was that simple, we'd all have a six-pack. That's the fact of it. If it was that simple, that if you did sit-ups, it would result in six-packs and reduced body fat, then we'd all do it every single day, every single night. The fact is that, again, like going back to my own clients, I've never in 4 years done a sit-up with a client. And that's a fact. Why? Because they don't work and they're bad for your lower back, they're bad for your neck, they're bad for your posture in general. And you'll find that most people that are in shape, most people that have low abdominal body fat, never really do sit-ups. If they do, they just kind of do it because they think it's going to help them, when it's not really that it's helping. It's your food that's helping. 7/10 of your results will come down to your food, what you're eating at nights in your own time. And yeah, that's the basics of it. You don't have to run. Running's, yeah. Don't get me wrong. If you enjoy running, keep running. If that's the form of exercise you like doing to de-stress, to get a sweat on, then keep running. All I'm saying is you don't have to do it. People think you've got to run, and most people hate running. I hate running. I play football, but I hate going for a run for half an hour. I couldn't think of anything more boring. Even if I've got an iPod in, sorry. I couldn't think of anything worse than running on roads and cars running past, things like that. And most days are probably the same. I prefer to blast at a workout, an intense workout in 30 minutes, short periods of work, short periods of rest, squats, lunges, boxing, battle ropes, things like that. That's the kind of stuff I do clients. I mean, we never normally do more than 30 seconds to a minute's work at a time with the same amount of rest. We go for maybe 45 minutes and that's just done. And I kind of get the exercise is kind of complicated because what happens is if you go, say you go to a gym, and you're kind of left to your own devices, it's hard because you don't really know what to do, and you don't really get a lot of help in a gym if you've not got a personal trainer. Even some personal trainers in gyms, I've seen them, they're pretty rubbish. That being bitchy. But the long and short of it is just do something every day that makes it, when so that you're working hard, you're getting a sweat on, and don't be scared of weights as well. A lot of ladies think that weights you're gonna get big, bulky, and hairy if you do weights every day. And strength training is the basics of any women's program I've done, any program I do. Why? Because it reduces stress in the body, and the way women's body is made up, from later in life, from reducing osteoporosis risk, things like that. For women, it's huge. Weights are really important. So yeah, if you're not doing weight kind of stuff just now, if you need to get help with that, but try it out. It's not as kind of maybe not as quite as intense, but you're still working equally as hard. Why I do a lot of weighted work women is because it sounds a bit gimmicky, but you do kind of keep burning calories through the night when you do kind of do weighted work. You keep burning calories for ages after it. Why? Because it has that effect in the body. Whereas stuff like running, if you run every day, twice a day, for example, even if you run every day, I notice it from playing football. When I get in better shape when I don't play football, when the football season's off. So if that 6 weeks I just had off from the football season, I was in better shape then than I was when I was playing football, 2 2-hour sessions a week and one 90-minute game every Saturday, and probably doing something else in between as well. I was better going to the gym and doing three weights, 3 boxing sessions a week than doing that. And you wouldn't always think that because I was doing more and more and more playing football. But the thing you've got to realise is that exercise is a stressor. Exercise is a stressor on your body. So if you're pounding roads every single day running, if you're stressing your body every single day with high intense cardio, stuff like that, it's going to be a stressor on your body, on your joints, and on your basis. Your cortisol levels got to get. Your stress hormone is your cortisol hormone. If your cortisol hormone's not under control, you're going to stress basically puts on body fat, as what leads to weight gain. And you probably know that for yourself. If you're stressed any time in your life, it's hard to stay in shape. Stuff happens. You use food as an outlet. You use drink as an outlet. You don't exercise as much. So just remember that doing less is symptoms more. That's what I'm trying to say. I had a client before, a lady Karen from Inverness. She was she worked in an office every day, and she obviously didn't get a lot of kind of exercise. And what she used to go to an hour's worth of exercise, I think it was a day. So she did 7 hours worth of workouts a week, running. It was always running, and she ate like 1,200 calories a day. She came to me. I put her food up to about 1,700 calories a day. Changed the types of food she was eating as well. You know, she wasn't eating so much cereal bars, things like that, quick and easy stuff. And she started working out for 2.5 hours a week. I think it was 4 half-an-hour sessions a week. Put her calories up, reduced her exercise, and she lost 2 dress sizes in 3 months. And she's like, Karen was like in her 50s, early 50s, and she got into a dress she had before her first child, like 20 years ago. 3 months later, and I thought that was amazing because it just showed that doing less, eating more, and doing less exercise-wise can actually help. I'm not saying take it to extremes, go and eat like 3,000, go and eat pizza every day and sit on your couch, but that's obviously not what I'm trying to say. But less is more. Get a sweat on daily. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. You always hear this is better than that. That's better than this. And yeah, I'm kind of going against what I've said just now, but keep it simple. This is a lady. She just texted me actually because she's can't get on this webinar and she's huffing because she wanted to be on this and wanted to see what I was saying. But Val, well, I started some online stuff. The first ever online program, like 2 and a bit months ago, and this is Val's results from the start and 6 weeks in. And Val, when I started with her, I've never met Val in person. It's been everything's been done online, on the phone, on laptop, video workouts, and the big part of this was accountability. Val could have done this in her own time probably, but she needed that kind of daily sort of help, daily sort of support, daily sort of knowing that if she ever slipped up, if she ever had a bad week, she'd have me to answer to, and the other girls in the group to answer to, and this is what happened. That's the result. She within 6 weeks. That's what she got, and she was a dress size down within 6 weeks as well. So if you think, would you realistically ask yourself just now, would you put work in as much into it as you could in 6 weeks if you know you could lose a dress size in 6 weeks? Just for argument's sake, just answer that in your own head just now. Even answer it in the chat box, because it can be done. I mean, Val makes no secret of it. Her motivation as well was because the 2 other girls in the group, in the online group, they were younger than her. Val's in her early 50s, I think, and she works as a nurse and she works self-employed as a photographer as well. She's literally on the go every single day, every minute of every single day. But what she makes sure she does is she has her 3 meals. She gets her workout in daily. She checks in with me daily to make sure she's still on track, and that's priceless, If she didn't have that support, it'd probably be hard for her to keep that up for that whole period. And she's still got 6 weeks to go. So I can't wait to see what the rest of the 6 weeks will kind of what will kind of give her, the results, the kind of results she'll get. And this is an Irish lady. This is Evelyn. She's part of my group in Inverness, and this was again a 3-month transformation. Again, people were kind of bitchy about it. I heard a couple of people saying that it's all, it can be easily made up and make up, things like that, and that is rubbish because I've seen it with my own eyes. Being honest, that she came so far in 3 months. I think it was 3 dress sizes in 3 months, and she for a month of that 3 months she'd admit herself she was useless food wise. Yes, she did the workouts for the first month, but it took her 4 weeks to kind of get it. What the thing with Evelyn is it's another good example is that Evelyn smokes, Evelyn drinks a lot, but she still got these results. And I'm not advocating smoking. I never would. I kind of would advocate drinking because I think you do need to have a social life, so to speak. If you do enjoy that, if you don't like drinking, then don't drink. But she started to drink every weekend. She kept smoking up. I'm trying to win her off that. But for the first 4 weeks, she came to me and she's kind of like, yeah, I'll come along. I'll do the workouts, but I'll kind of do my own thing with the food. And if she didn't change after the 4 weeks, I probably chucked her off the course because she wouldn't have got me a result. And my business is built on results. I kind of pride myself on results. If I don't get results, people, I'm nothing. And I say, but after that first 4 weeks, she kind of I got her to, for the second month, I got her to just go with this. Just give it a week, give it 2 weeks, give it 3 weeks, give it 4 weeks, see what it'll do. Within 4 weeks, she lost a dress size. She was getting better sleep. She was mentally, it's kind of, I can't even put it in words, mentally what it got her in that 1 to 8 weeks, changing the food. 1 to 4 weeks, yeah, she did. It's like anything. It's like I say to all my clients is you can turn up for workouts all you like, but you will only really get out what you put into it food wise. Okay, so what I mean by that is if you're coming out doing the workouts, if you go to the gym, if you've got a personal trainer, whatever you do, I don't know all of you personally, so I don't know what you all do, but if you are going home at nights and kind of undoing all your good work every single day, every single week, every single month, if you think what that excess is doing to you, then it's kind of basically, as I said before, it's undoing all your good work. So how about for 12 weeks, you went all in it, you gave it a lot, not all or nothing, because I said it. Most of the ladies I take still do get results from still enjoying stuff they like doing, drinking, eating chocolate, whatever it is, but in moderation. And what Evelyn did is she really changed her life. She used to drink like most nights, but then she went from most nights to a Friday night, once a week, and now she's trying to get away. She's not had a drink in like 2 months or something like that now. I've known Evelyn. I've trained Evelyn for 5 months now, but the results were huge. The whole testimonies on my Facebook page, kind of where she came from to start with. She was kind of the whole kind of, when I say people sedate in food and drink and fags, she was kind of living, breathing kind of example of it. She, every single day, every single night, when she was stressed, when she was tired, when she was overwhelmed, when she was procrastinating, what she used as an outlet, she sedated, and that's people do, they sedate themselves in food and drink and fags to forget the stress that has come before. I've done it. I do it with food sometimes. I don't do a lot, but when I feel like shit and I feel like blowing everything up a wee bit, I sometimes do just eat chocolate, because chocolate's my one big vice. I'm not a big drinker, to be honest, but I do love food and I do love chocolate, and I kind of get that fact when you're stressed, when you're tired, when you're really anxious. I suffer quite a lot from bad anxiety. Not so much now, it's improving, but I do get bad anxiety, especially, well, really on Sunday nights is probably the worst part, and this is why I'm kind of doing this Sunday night, because it'll kind of take my mind away from the anxiety. But Evan was kind of and she's got 4 or 5 kids. Her husband works away. You can have all the excuses you want, but she did it. She did the work. She did the workout. She got the food. She started to get it, and when she got it, when she saw what it could do for her, within 4 weeks, she went all at it. And for the next 4 weeks, she got big results. They said like two dress sizes down within 8 weeks. I think it was 3 dress sizes down. It was massive. It was a huge change, and you can tell by her appearance, her skin as well, that what it did improve as well. Her whole general appearance, her whole makeup, and she started enjoying shopping again. She stopped using food and drink as an outlet. So I was proud of her. She did great. And what I kind of want to go into now is the kind of mindset point of view, and the mindset stuff. So it's a big in my eyes. I mean, speaking personally, I've hired two guys. I paid them good money. I paid more money than I can afford to help my mindset, to help my anxiety levels, to help my business and marketing to an extent, but mainly my mindset. These guys, if I'm, feel like I need a kick up the arse, they'll give me a kick up the arse. If I ever feel like low in confidence, low in self-belief, they will tell me what are you doing? What is it? Why are you being like that? I sometimes have really low self-esteem and feel like just, basically blowing it all up, hitting self-destruct. And it's common with clients as well. I see clients sometimes, they get good results. They start to see change, they get good results, they lose weight, they tone up, they drop dress sizes, they feel better, they feel confident, then bang, something goes in their own head, and you can probably relate to this. Something goes in their own head that says to them, I want to just blow this all up. So they start eating bad food again, they start drinking again, they stop turning up for workouts because they don't feel they deserve to feel, think they deserve to feel good, if you know what I mean. They spent their whole life kind of feeling out of shape, feeling like always a fat one, feeling out of shape, not really feeling like it's meant to be like them. Their friends are always the ones that are skinnier, that kind of type of thing. When it's bullshit. That mindset is bullshit. It's kind of a bit of fear. There's a lot of mindset stuff in there. When it gets to that point, you kind of got to tell someone and get a kick up the arse, because that's what I kind of do. I've lost clients before I've succumbed to this. In 12 weeks, I've had great results, great transformations, and at the end of 12 weeks, because it's the end of 12 weeks, I just think, I feel good now. Now I can sort of eat shit again and drink shit and drink rubbish all the time again, and blow everything up and go back to the way I was, because I don't deserve to feel this way. And maybe you can relate to it, maybe you can't. I probably did email on this week, because I like doing an email on this like once every 3-4 weeks, because it's so relatable. Everyone kind of can relate it time to time. And one is just shout to me there. Every like three quarters of the women I've helped in the past have all said, that's so me. That is me you're talking to, and it's so true. I know what happens, because I do this with my business, with my mindset as well. Not so much physically, because I'm kind of, like, it's my job, so I'm not going to do that every single week with food and with exercising, because I enjoy that. I enjoy eating good food. I enjoy exercising, but people there's some sort of trigger in their own head that says self-destruct. And I used to do it like on Sunday nights. I used to get bad anxiety. What I meant by that is, like, I used to always sort of panic about my clients, panic if they were following the information I was telling them, and I used to think, if they're not doing it, they're gonna get shit results. I'm not gonna have a business. I'm not gonna get any money. I'm not gonna be able to support my family. And it sounds so stupid. It sounds so stupid me saying it now, but it's so, like, from personally speaking, it's so true. I can relate to it, and the only reason I'm probably feeling like that, not feeling like that now, is because I'm on this webinar. So thank you for coming along. But yeah, I gave these guys, like, one guy I gave like way more money than I can afford, way more money to earn a month. And what it was 3 days basically locked in a room with this guy, 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock at night. It was 3 days. It cost me £3,000, and I've no shame. I'm not bragging about it. I couldn't afford it at the time. But what it did make me realise is that what I needed to do from a mindset point of view to get myself over these hurdles. I mean, what I was doing before is, and I spoke to one of the ladies in this webinar just now about this the other day, was that if you don't look after yourself, then you can't look after anyone else. If you've got kids and you're waking up every morning in a bad mood, stressed, overwhelmed, tired, then how are you expected to? I'm not trying to dig out here. I'm not getting parent advice. I mean, I'm just speaking from a personal point of view as well, because I've seen this happen to me the last 2 weeks. If I wake up in the morning and do something stupid, like read a face, like scroll through, when you wake up in the morning, what, like I do it, most of you probably do it as well. The first thing you do in the morning is scroll through Facebook. You turn your alarm off, you scroll through Facebook until you see something that pisses you off. You see something that pisses you off, and then it puts you in a bad mood. You're like, oh, they're full of shit. That's made you angry. You maybe not saying that to yourself at the time, but deep down it has made you angry. So you start your day off in a bad mood, or you read an email and it pisses you off, or like I might get say for argument's sake, I woke up tomorrow morning and a client emailed me and says, Daniel, look, I'm not going to carry on anymore. They gave me all these kind of bullshit excuses, and they says, oh, all the best, I'll maybe contact you again when I feel like doing it again. I'm like, well, how am I going to pass on, what kind of vibes am I going to pass on to my wife, to my 2-week-old kid, in the morning? If I'm in a bad mood, if I'm cranky, if I'm stressed, if I'm overwhelmed, I'm not going to have a good day, and it's going to be hard to get myself out of that. Whereas first thing in the morning, if you wake up and you have a good breakfast, you go for a walk, de-stress, take your dog for a walk, I try to do something positive, give yourself a kind of small win in the morning, and it works wonders. And that's one thing I learned. It was like in productivity and time and things like that. And I'm going to try. I might not get it all in this webinar. I'm going to try and get as much in as you can. But all I'm trying to say is, look after you. If you can't look after you, you can't look after anyone else. And it sounds harsh, it sounds selfish, but it's true. Okay? People sometimes say to me, what are you on about? I've told people that before, and like, yeah, but I've got kids, But what I'm saying is, if you're looking after your kids most by looking after you, and that's a fact. If you're, I mean, I know personally speaking, I want to be a role model to my kid. I don't want to get out of shape like dads do. They get stressed. They drink beer. They kind of poke fun at their beer belly. That kind of type of dad mentality. I don't want to have that mentality when I'm dad. I want to be a role model to my child. So I will only be a role model in my book if I practice what I preach. If I preach good habits. exercise, food, simple things that I know I'm good at. If I could preach that to them, it'll make them maybe not a better person, but it'll give them a good start. So I know if I'm doing that, if I'm starting my days off mostly good, if I'm not cranky them, if I'm not giving them attention, if I'm giving them attention, something's, because sometimes you can't be present. You can be on your phone, you might be talking to people, but you're away from it. That's what I mean. Giving my kids full attention, giving them good advice, being a role model. That's my kind of why, and that's what I'm going to talk about now. Is your why? You can only. What I've kind of realised is if you right, you're all on this to shine. You've probably got an idea in your head what you want, right? So if I could say ideally in 8 to 12 weeks, what would you kind of want physically, mentally? How do you want to feel? How do you want to look? You could all probably rattle off that just now, what you'd want to do, but you cannot. If you read my newsletter, you get after the email, you'd probably get what I mean by this. You cannot gain pleasure if you don't know your pain. You cannot gain without the pain. What I mean by that is what's normally more powerful, what normally motivates more people is pain. So I know from clients I've worked with, from their point of view, that they only ever got results, they only ever realised they had to get results and had to change when the pain got so bad, like I said earlier, with depression, with clothes constantly gaining weight, constantly getting clothes sizes too bigger and bigger and bigger. They knew that shit, this has got to stop. I don't feel attractive. I think my husband will leave me. That kind of type of thing. My relationship with my husband isn't as good. My relationship with my kids isn't as good. I don't have energy to play with my kids. I don't feel as comfortable in my own clothes. I don't feel like going out ever again. You probably know what I mean. I don't, not feeling that I want to go out with a friend on a Friday, Saturday night because you don't like anything you wear. You don't feel that you feel comfortable in the clothes you wear. You don't like what you have to wear because you feel out of shape. That kind of stuff. You don't feel good, comfortable in your own skin. And you can only ever get results unless you know that why. And all of you now, you might not admit it, you might not think it right now, but there's probably a reason behind the kind of weight loss, the reason behind the toning, the reason behind it all. There's deep down, there's an emotional reason why you want to do this. And you probably all know it. It's probably staring in the face. I just said what mine is. And yeah, the clients that I've worked with, the clients that I've got the best results for, all knew their why. The clients that I've worked with that never knew their why, and never, how can I put it? The clients that never knew their why and just kind of went and thought, I'll just turn up and do some workouts. I'll cut back a wee bit, but I'll kind of. They never stuck at it because they didn't know why. They didn't know why they wanted to do it. And I read a really cool thing earlier. I'll get it on my phone. I'll pass it on to. 2 secs. Sorry for this delay. But I screenshotted this in my notes. And it's so true. It's like something I've learned from a lot of failures and a lot of success is that it's easy to get excited about the outcome you want, but less easy to get excited about the work required to get there. When you get excited about doing the work, the outcome becomes inevitable. And the outcome in my book becomes inevitable when you know your why. There's nothing stopping you if you know your why. Nothing in a million. If you're doing it for your kids, you want to live longer. You don't want to, basically you don't want to die. If you don't want to split up your husband, that kind of stuff. You don't want to split up your boyfriend. That is a huge why. So why on earth would you not want to eat good? Why on earth would you not turn up for workouts? Why on earth would you not hire someone to help you? That kind of type of thing. There's no reason behind it. There's no real. You should never have excuses are not valid when you know your why. And you probably know what I mean by now. You might be able to relate this now. You maybe joined gyms in the past, and you're probably throwing shit at a wall and hope it sticks. You probably, I'll get a gym. I've done this before. I kind of did it last year when I did that course. I'd done courses before and spent less money on courses, but I never took them seriously because they cost less money. When I did that course, when I spent $3,000 in 3 days, it was I had resistance to it, so I knew, hell, if I'm spending that money I can't afford, I'm gonna learn the shit that's on this course. So I only ever did that because my pain got so bad. I hope you can kind of get what I mean by that. So if you want to write down your whys in the chat box, it'd be interesting to hear, just to get some examples. If you don't want to do it, fine. If you do want to do it and get it in paper, get it out in the open, then good. I'm not going to name your name, by the way. Just write it out. It'll just be interesting to know. But yeah, it's really important. And what I was going to go back to earlier, that kind of throwing money at things and hoping it works. I've done it before. It doesn't always work. Throwing money at things and doing the work, doing what's required, doing what's necessary, taking responsibility works. And results, as I said earlier, the results become inevitable. You will get results if you know your why. You will get results if you get help. It is only inevitable because nothing will stop you. If something stops you and you start making excuses, I'll just tell you you're full of shit because you told me at the start why you wanted to do it. That kind of type of thing. So please mentally get your head around that. That was a little bit deep, but it had to be said. And it's kind of getting over this kind of it's all in the head kind of mindset. Because when I hear people saying, this is what I'm going to go on to here actually, is making excuses. Sorry, 2 seconds. I'm just getting some stuff through now. Yeah, I'm getting something through just now, and thanks for your input. Keep interacting with me. If you interact with me, I'll try and help at the end. I'm not going to name out names, but it's just good to hear. It's just good to know this is helping, and it's good for me, to be honest. Yeah, stop making excuses. I mean, excuses do my head in. Okay, I've been talking about this so much in the last couple of weeks because I was kind of 2-3 months ago I was making excuses. So all I'm basically doing the last couple of weeks is basically relaying the stuff I've learned myself the last 2 months. I mean, I've had clients that have gone through a lot of shit and got some great results. And when I have somebody coming up with me an excuse like maybe sometimes the person doesn't even know they're making an excuse. Sometimes if you make right, what? No, in fact, I'm going to give you an exercise now. Every one of you on this webinar just now, if you can write down the excuses you've made in the past 2-3 months as to why you've not done anything, as to why you've not started eating better, as to why you've not exercised, and I'll kind of relay them to you because I think I can only do this. Right, because I feel like a failure, it makes me depressed, and that makes me eat. Right, what I'd ask yourself is it true? Is it true that you're a failure, and is it true you're depressed? Because the more you kind of say something in your own mind, like I'm a failure, I'm depressed, the more it's kind of like drumming it. It's kind of like you're brainwashing yourself into thinking that when it's not true. When it's not true. Stories you tell yourself, excuses you make, stories you tell yourself are all in your head. I hear people saying stuff like, I'm scared what other people will think. I'm scared about not getting. I mean, a lot of not doing something comes down to fear, and I'll probably do a lot more on this in the next couple of weeks. But being scared about what other people think, being scared about failure, it's not even true. Why is that not true? Because it's the future and it doesn't exist. So if you're trying to make excuses, you're basically trying to create excuses out of thin air and they don't exist. Oh, I'm not gonna. You're basically saying I will not do that because of this, and it's bullshit. It really is bullshit. Yeah, there's an argument. Too tired. We'll always start tomorrow. Hate that one. I'm not gonna lie. We'll always start tomorrow. Why do you start tomorrow? You're giving some more work. That's it. Too busy, too tired, work running after a toddler. Terrible excuse, I know. Yeah, like, oh, right, ladies, just stop doing it. Like, I'm so passionate about this because I hate it. I basically just know that I've worked with people that have had excuses like this and they've got results. So why are you doing it? Like, I hope after this webinar, by the way, that you totally blow that shit out of the water and just don't do it, because when you probably feel stupid me saying this out, but it does sound stupid because you're basically just rationalising not doing anything. It's a comfortable kind of way out. When you kind of make an excuse, you're rationalising where you're basically at. Even this might sound really harsh, but even when people say I can't afford it, people tell me that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not being arrogant about this. I'm not saying anything about this, but all I'm saying is that And it might be true for some people, but when people say they can't afford exercise and they can't afford to hire someone, they can't afford to eat good, and they're going out every weekend, they're smoking, they're, I don't know what else, but you can get. I mean, if you go out every weekend for a month, you spend 200 quid. Why not spend that 200 quid on a trainer? That's what I can. If your problems are so bad, if your shit's so bad and you feel this bad, you feel this kind of, you hate yourself, then why are you going out every weekend, and why not spend that money on someone that can help you rather than trying to do it yourself and undoing all your good work? Another good one was, I used to train a guy, and I've got no problem in admitting this because he was a pain in the arse, and it's why I don't really train as many guys anymore. This guy said to me that I put my prices up at the turn of the year for one-to-one training, and when I did that, I kind of knew that the only people that would stick with me were the ones that were really serious. The ones that dropped off, I knew were the ones that were dropping off. This guy dropped off. This guy drove this guy had a Range Rover for himself, and a Range Rover for his wife. And I'm not judging. Well, I'm judging actually, because the guy clearly had excess cash if he's driving Range Rovers. That's probably fair to say. And he was complaining to me that I was putting my sessions up 10 quid a session. And he would constantly moan to me every single week about, I'm constantly tired. What can I do with this? Why can't you help me with this body fat? Why can't you help me with my weight? I'm always too busy to eat well. I'm like, get your head out your arse. That's a long and the short of it. Stop making excuses. This guy was basically just getting the excuses in early because he knew he'd always fail because he wasn't that serious. Now I just wouldn't work with him again. But then I was just kind of like, oh, it's a new client. I used to think getting a new client's great, but sometimes people can drain you, and I can only ever help people that I can know will help themselves. And that's why I kind of do. You might notice that I do the applications on the daily emails. I do applications for the online work. I do applications for the offline work. It's because I only want to work with people that I know can help themselves. And if they can't help themselves, and I'm just going to crack at, I'm just going to get anxious, but they're not helping themselves, and it's going to affect me. And if I only want to help people that I know will help themselves, and that's the long and the short of it. If you don't want to do it, if you want to make excuses and say where it's been too busy, been too tired. I mean, the stupid thing is, you kind of saying to yourself, you're too busy, you're too tired. Well, you're probably tired because you're not looking after yourself. And that's the long and short of it. You probably, how about you like eat better, drink more water, use exercise as an outlet for stress, for your busyness. Because I've got clients that own like massive businesses, like employ like 40 people, that still manage to get 2-3 sessions in a week. I know it's not always, that is not always, I don't mean you need to do that. I mean, even if it's just going for a run before you go to work, or going to class after work, or going to circuit training, or going to Zumba, or rebound is one of your girls did. Just doing something. Do you know what I mean? So just do something. Stop making excuses because they are not valid, and that is fact. So yes, I've seen some excuses before, and some excuses, it's fair enough. You can't do much about them, but 90% of the time, they're not valid, and it's all they are stories made up in your own mind to validate, to rationalise you're not doing something because it's more because it's easier, it's more comfortable. And get this, that you've got to be different. If you want to go and get results, if you want to go and do whatever you want to do, you've got to be different. You've got to be different to your friends. You've got to be different to your family. You can't just go and eat biscuits at work at lunch when the cakes come in at lunch. You can't just have lattes every single hour of every single day at work. You can't just, skip breakfast. You can't just like wake up. Maybe like you have to wake up earlier in the morning to get in a workout in, so you get your result rather than just having the extra hour in bed. Our people would think you're crazy for doing. Thing is, our people don't normally want you to get results, and this might sound stupid. It might sound crazy, but your friends and family sometimes don't always want you to get results because it makes them feel more comfortable. You probably can relate to this right now, that you've probably had friends in the past that think, no, you look great, you don't need to lose weight, you look great, and it's, well, that's all well and good you saying it, but I feel like shit, so I got to do something about it. Or you get people that say, oh, you need to slow down, and it's like, well, no, you need to speed up, or you need to, what is that you're eating? Why are you going to workouts at 6 o'clock in the morning? Why are you going to workouts after work when you just go and watch telly and eat shit and drink? Well, because I want to change, I want to be different. And the large majority of people won't do this work. That's why the large majority of people are unhappy. Large majority of this population's unfit and overweight. Is because bad habits. going with the majority. And people take the piss out of me for what I eat sometimes. People take the piss out of me for going for workouts at crazy times. But I've got to do it for my own sanity, for my own health, for my own family. So why would I not do it? So stop making excuses. That's the long and short of it. Okay. And the fact that, this is going a bit over time, but I might go a bit longer. If any of you need to leave, I'm sorry, but I've gone a bit over time. But I'll try and shorten it up and get in the Q&A in a little while. All I'm trying to say is I get, I mentioned I had a baby. My wife had I didn't have a baby. My wife had a baby a couple of weeks ago, but I get lack of sleep. I get tiredness. I get stress. I get overwhelmed. I eat shit. I skip workouts. I do these things. The thing I don't do is make a habit of it and let it get to me and do it for too long. Sometimes one bad day can set a client off like that. And what I try to say to my clients is use the support, use the accountability, because it's there for a reason. If you have a bad day, if you feel like shit, if you need help, then talk to someone and get out and open. If you hold it in your system for too long, it'll go week to week to week to week, and it'll be longer and longer and longer before you get a result. That's a fact. So all I'm trying to say is that, one, I get it because I've worked with loads and loads of ladies like you, mums like you. I get the excuses you have. I get the problems you face. I get the business, and I get that these are mental. He's do everything: housework, cleaning, work, look after kids, go out, make dinner for your husbands. Things women do so much, and they have kids as well, which is mental. I didn't get that until the time, but it came. But all I'm trying to say is I've got empathy where you're at, because not because I'm a woman and because I've had a kid personally, but I kind of get what you mean from experiences of our clients, and they're also relatable. You're not alone, and the shit you're going through now, you're not alone, okay? And I also get it now, which is even better because I'm a parent now as well. And I used to kind of say this stuff, and I never used to look at it and think, be suspicious, but when I used to see people make excuses for kids, I used to kind of think twice about it. I never really doubted them, but now I kind of really do get it that shit, when you have to get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning for 2 hours and get up at 5, 6 in the morning, it's brutal. You do not feel like exercising. You do not. Exercise is the last thing in your head. Eating breakfast normally is the last thing in your mind. All you want to do is think, when I get home from work tonight, I'm going to go straight to bed. That's the first thing you think of. It's hard. It's tough. Yes, you do. You're proud of your kids. You do it for a reason, but it's hard. It's tough. I do get it. I get more where you're coming from now. And again, I hope I can relate to that. Wait till I'm a toddler. Oh, jeez, don't. Shit. And next, where we want next? Yeah, the beginning is the most important part of the work. That's the hardest thing any client of mine has ever had to do. The hardest thing. This may be. I hope this webinar is the beginning for you, because sometimes all it takes. You can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, even a year, feeling like rubbish. Knowing you need to do something, knowing you need to change, knowing you need to get help, hire someone, get a gym membership, get a personal trainer, that kind of type of thing. You know you need to do it, but it takes you ages to do it because you're kind of putting it off in your own head. Again, you're probably making excuses, but the hardest thing to do is make that first point of contact. Get help, get everything out in the open. I said get a gym membership, hire someone, that kind of type of thing. Even getting in this webinar and actively seeking help, because within doing that, it's going to start your journey, and that's always the most important part. And like sending that email to say I want to work with you, sending that email or turning up to that first session for my clients, I always view that as the most important part. The easy part is after that, because all the misconceptions are gone, all the kind of anxiety, all the kind of not knowing is kind of gone. It's out there, and then they can go full steam ahead and get results, and that's the exciting part. It's like that quote I said before. I've kind of forgot it again. I'm going to get it again, but I thought it's pretty cool, and I'll probably post it on the page tomorrow. But it's like, it's easy to get excited about the outcome you want. So what I mean by that is it's easy for you to think in your head, oh, I can't wait to lose 3 stone. I can't wait to lose 3 dress sizes. I can't wait to feel great, look great. But if you're not prepared to do the work, then it's pointless. That's why I get people to make small goals. Not small goals, but get excited about small wins day to day. Get excited about getting your water in daily. Get excited about getting gains in daily. Get excited about small, good habits. 3 meals, protein in every meal, not eating rubbish, 3 litres of water a day, getting your greens in a day, getting your cod liver oil capsule in a day, getting a greens powder. and having that once a day, that kind of thing, small little wins. If you have those small little wins 3-5 times a day, those small little wins every single day, every single week, every single month will lead to big results in the long term. And the problem people make most of the time is that they want big results, but they're not prepared to put the work in. That's probably why they don't know why. That's probably because they don't know why to do it. But it's easy to get excited about the outcome you want, the big outcome you want, but it's less easy to get excited at the work required to get there. And you know what I mean? But it's less excited to get out about getting up at 6 a.m. for a workout. It's not exciting to, eat something different for a meal when you're out for lunch because your friends are all having shit, when you have to have like a smoothie, or you're having like meat and 2 veg, that kind of type of thing. But when you get excited about doing the work, when you get excited about the process, about getting results, because you know you're going to get a result, the outcome becomes inevitable. And that's so true. I just seen that today, and I think it's brilliant. But that is so true. This is an hour girl I worked with. Rebecca, I've known Rebecca most of my life, but the picture on the left, she'd never ever exercised before. She'd never ate healthy before. She didn't give a shit about her body. Then she had a kid. About 1 year ago now, she had a kid, but that picture on the right's 4 months after starting work with me. And again, I'm not big on myself, but it just shows what you can do. She had excuses before she started. She didn't ever think about exercise. She didn't ever enter her head. She didn't want to eat healthy. She had no intention of eating healthy until she had a kid, until she knew why she had to change something. She had this responsibility, this person's life she's in control of. She's like, shit, I can really need to do something now. And she put her absolute 100% all into it. She did everything I said, and that's the result she got. Like 3-4 months later, she's gone. She actually just texted me last week. On the left ear, when she started off, she was a size 16. Now she's a size 8, less than a year. Just let that sink in. It can be done. She's got excuses. She did it. And our one, Hayley's maybe different. On the right hand side, this before I met her, Hayley came to one of my seminars last September. She started me last October, and that picture was in February or March this year. So it was like 4 or 5 months. One thing with Hayley is she doesn't have kids yet, but she still had excuses. She still had reasons why she didn't do stuff. She still made excuses herself. She didn't really get what she had to do. She came to the seminar. She got motivated. She got inspired. She basically thought, I'm going to give you money. I want you to help me. And she got help, and that's the result she got. That was like 4 or 5 months later. She did brilliant. And Hayley's actually just left. She's actually stopped working with me because she's moving away. But she did amazing. You can tell by that picture she did amazing. So what I'm trying to say is this shit works. Use it, implement it, get help if you need it. Ask me use the Facebook page, use emails, I'm going to put a post out tomorrow for the 15-minute consults on the phone. Use that. It's all free. Yeah, if you want to help me, I'll give you my paid work. I've actually just put together over the last 2-3 weeks through the online thing I'm doing just now, with the guinea pigs, like the thing that Val, the 6-week thing, and Lucy was in the call here. The thing they're doing, I'm going to use that as a kind of that's a kind of starter from online thing, but I've been packaging up my biggest ever offer, most like the biggest offering, most exclusive offering, that kind of type of thing online. I've been packaging that together for the last 2-3 weeks, and along with that and having a kid, it's been pretty stressful, but I kind of know what I'm going to be selling now. It's going to be daily accountability. You get video workouts online, daily support, text support, email support. You'll have group meetings, like accountability meetings, kind of like Weight Watchers, but it actually works. That'll be online, that kind of type of thing. And I've been putting that together for the last. I've been putting that together for the last, say, 2-3 weeks. And I think I'm going to call it the more result method. So more results, but more results. The kind of playing the word, playing my name, playing the kind of whole aspect behind it. You're going to get everything from me. But I don't really have it to sell just now. But if you need help, if that may be interesting, you, keep an eye out for it in 2-3 weeks' time, and I can always help. But question and answers. Yeah, anything you want to know. I'm sorry again, it's got a bit over time. I always do these things, to be honest with you. I always get carried away, sidetracked. that's why I didn't want questions through the webinar. But yeah, hit me up with some questions just now, and I will answer them. I'm sure you've all got something in there, so please ask. I won't name names if you don't want me to. If you want to remain anonymous, that's cool. In fact, I think there was a question before. Let me check up. So give me 2 seconds. Yeah, sorry. Even if you had a question before, can you give me it again? Because I don't know where my questions box has gone. I'll go for another 5 minutes, take any questions, then that'll be that. If it helped, let me know. I hope it has. I hope it's gave you some motivation. I hope it's gave you some inspiration. I hope you maybe know now more what you need to do. Maybe so much from a food and nutrition and exercise point of view, more from a mental point of view, in your own head. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I might have missed that fight because I got that excited. I got kind of sidetracked through the whole thing. But I really hope it's helped. Hope it's gave you something. And I hope you can take something away and implement it really, and do something with it, and get results. And yeah, I've got a question here. Sorry. Can you realistically obtain results by not going to a gym, having a personal trainer, but just working out from home? Lauren, do you mean the thing I was talking about, the program I was talking about, or do you mean just yourself? If you mean just yourself, of course you can. I've got ladies on the email list, my daily email list. That's something yourself, yeah. Well, here you go. I've got ladies on my email list that I've been reading my emails for 2-3 months. I don't even know who they are. That I might get a random message like 2-3 months down the line saying they've lost like 2 stone, and I had that lady. She lost 2 stone and she actually just started working with me last week. She wants more results because she got sidetracked a wee bit, but of course you can. Like again, just keep it simple. Go for walks, go for cycles, go running, go to gym, do weights, mix it up, get a sweat on, do rebounding, the stuff that you were talking about the other day. Just do stuff like that, and as well. Again, it's kind of you're kind of going with the exercise thing, the whole exercise thing. Like, I need to kind of work out. Yes, you do need to work out, but the most important part is the mindset stuff, and then your nutrition. If you're on point with nutrition and all that sort of stuff, water, hydration, getting your meals in, the basics I'm talking about, just eating real food, and do that every day, every week, every month. For 2-3 months, you will get a result. I can't guarantee it because I don't know if you're going to do it, but all I'm saying is that I've had people on the email list that have got results through my emails alone. So yeah, I guess you can. So yeah, thanks for coming along and listening and watching. I hope you've learned something. Hope you can implement some of it. I appreciate the interaction and all of it from all of us. I'm just reading through all the comments just now. That's brilliant. Yeah, and some of you in this comments below, I'm just reading through them just now. Is you've told me your excuses yourself, so, and you know it's bullshit yourself now, so just don't do it. So that's what from this time to this time next week, just use that as kind of take it week to week, give yourself small goals, and just go for it. And know in the bigger picture why you really want to do it, your why. If there's nothing else, thank you. No worries, Lisa. Glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you got something from it. Feeling very motivated. Great webinar. Major kick out the bum. That's what it was. Major kick out the bum. That's it. What to do. That something's all you need. I know it myself. Sometimes your head gets way up your own backside too much, and sometimes you kind of, again, you make excuses, you validate things, you rationalise things, and sometimes you just need something to tell you straight that what you're actually telling yourself is bullshit. So, yeah, I hope it helped. Yeah, perfect. Right. Okay, no more questions. Again, thanks, ladies, for coming along. I'll put a post out tomorrow. No worries, Sam. Thanks for coming along. Everyone that's been on the webinar, Ashley, Lauren, Lucy, Lisa, Sam, blah, blah, blah. There's too many names to mention. But yeah, thanks for coming along. I appreciate you taking time out tonight to kind of watch the webinar. Hope you learned a lot. keep me updated with, if you know, a couple of weeks down the line you've done well, then keep me updated. Again, I'll put posts out on Facebook tomorrow, and I'll put emails out over the week. Let me know how you're getting on. use the page as support. If I can't get back to you and help you, maybe some of the ladies, the clients that I've got results for, can help you and give you a little head start. So yeah, thanks again, and I will hopefully speak to you soon. Bye bye.